I enjoy competition, especially in professional wrestling. I believe that is what makes wrestling what it is. Even back during the days of the territories, those small territories were competing with each other for talent, for market share, for fans. It is through that competition that they grew and got better. And then we got to the 90s with WCW, WWE, WWF at the time. There were times when WWF was kicking the living hell out of Eric Bischoff's WCW, Ted Turner's WCW, until WCW said, you know what, NWO, heel Hulk Hogan. And then we saw 83 weeks of WWF getting the hell beat out of them in the ratings. And ultimately what happened, as a result of that, came the Attitude Era. Stone Cold Steve Austin, Kane, Undertaker, Chris Jericho, Kurt Angle, The Rock. Competition is what makes the wrestling business healthy. It is always good to have competing companies, not just one, not a monopoly. What makes a business healthy is when you have multiple entities giving their best, putting their best foot forward consistently to entertain us and vie for that number one spot. So when we got word that Dynamite was being bumped off of Wednesday this week to Tuesday, we were already set to be entertained for what was going to be a hell of a night. Because it felt like both WWE and AEW were trying to one-up each other. You're going to have a 2-hour show on our night? Well, guess what? We're going to go an extra 10 minutes long. Oh, yeah? Well, we're going to do that, too. Oh, yeah? Well, we're going to have the first 30 minutes be commercial-free. Oh, yeah? We're going to do that, too. Well, we're going to have Edge in the main event. Well, we're going to have Cody Rhodes, John Cena, Undertaker. You know what I mean? It's just like, it's very entertaining to see them trying to one-up each other. And so I think we as fans, we love that. We love seeing these companies go head-to-head because guess what? Ultimately, we win because they're going to do some extra stuff, things they don't usually do to beat the other ones, which means we get the benefit. We get to see certain talent that don't usually appear in these shows. For NXT especially, oh my God, Cody Rhodes, John Cena, The Undertaker, LA Knight, Asuka, Shotzi Blackheart. I think they even had Tegan Knox on the show. Becky Lynch was on the show. A lot of star power. And then AEW, we had Bryan Danielson open the show against Swerve Strickland. Adam Copeland in the main event. This is what the wrestling business needs. Ultimately, though, when it was all said and done, star power won the night. It is what it is. I thought AEW had the overall better wrestling show. And I still feel that way. But man, the star power on NXT was... You are not going to rival that. There is no way in hell you could rival that. And before anyone comes up here and says, well, WWE cheated, stop it. Stop it. If Tony Khan could bring in John Cena and The Undertaker, or Stone Cold Steve Austin, or The Rock, or all of them, he would have done the exact same thing. This is competition, baby. So, WWE won. I enjoyed myself. I enjoyed the competition aspect more than the shows themselves. Because I even said this in my review too. Both shows had their strengths and they also had their weaknesses. I think by themselves, they were all right. Like an episode of NXT with all this star power by itself, nothing really happened on the show except Taker. That's it. Nothing to really write home about. I'm not going to watch NXT again next week. I'm really not. AEW, sure we had a few title changes, but ultimately, I'm not going to go back and rewatch this episode. So what was fun about it was seeing who would win in the ratings. WWE won. So I'm thinking to myself, okay, well, Tony Khan, you lost. Take your L. Hit the showers. Get back to work. Back to the drawing board. Make the show better. Because there will be more opportunities to compete against WWE, matter of fact. Later on this year, during the NBL, I think, World Series or the playoffs, Collision is going to go head-to-head with SmackDown. Yeah. This isn't the last time it's going to happen. They'll probably do this again next year. It might once again go head-to-head with NXT. Or you know what? I'm also hearing, check this out, that Endeavor might be okay with moving Raw off of Mondays, which means it could either be on a Tuesday or a Wednesday. If we get Wednesday Night Raw against AEW Dynamite, oh my God, there will be more opportunities to go up against WWE. And so what you do, you put your head down, you focus on your show, you see what needs improvement, you go back to work. That's not what Tony Khan did. And it's sad for me to say that. It is sad for me to say that the man that I thought was hungry to be the best is acting the way that he is. And you know what? When you're in competition, because I'm a very competitive person too, there are going to be some times that you do get in your feelings a little bit. Especially if you're someone that doesn't win a lot. Or actually, the complete opposite. If you're someone that wins all the time and you don't know how to take a loss. Right? Either one, either extreme, expect an emotional response. I'm not going to sit here and pretend that all my favorites, Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, Shaquille O'Neal, these are basketball players. You could insert any athlete in there. All of them at some point in time had their share of emotional responses to a loss or to some type of competitive moment. That is competition. It's expected. But there is such a thing as taking it too hard. And Tony, I think, took it way too hard. This man has been going on this tirade over a night that, quite frankly, means nothing. It doesn't mean anything. No one's going to be talking about this. But unfortunately, it's been blown up into something much more than it really is because of what Tony is doing. Tony Khan is taking it to a level that it should not be taken to. Because right now, currently, this man has spent the last 48 hours shooting on WWE, shooting on Shawn Michaels, shooting on Triple H, shooting on Vince McMahon, shooting on John Cena and Undertaker, not being able to draw 1 million views on NXT, and then his recent series of tweets about WWE contract tampering. He can't stop. There are reports out now that even people in the company, even the people in AEW, are telling him, or maybe not telling him, maybe they should, but are saying Tony needs to get off social media. He needs to put the phone down. So what is he saying? Because some of you might not even know. I guarantee you most of you do. But let's just say you're just turning on the video, not knowing what's going on, and you want more details. I got you. I'm going to help you out here. So it's best to start from the beginning. When they first announced, by they I mean WWE NXT, announced that they were going to go 30 minutes. This is when Tony started to crack. Because instantly he announced that his show was going 30 minutes. But then he responds with this. Okay, so you want to be a dick. That was the first indication that, he ain't playing no more. He's all out of fucks to give. His cup of give a shit is empty. There's so many ways you can say that. You know what I mean? Because then he starts responding to fans. Look at this. We're not watching, bucko. Okay, we won't see you tomorrow night for Title Tuesday then. Who gives a fuck? You know, he starts responding. And now people are like, oh, okay, Tony's unhinged right now. You even got this. Watch this. If Sir Vince McMahon said this, there would be many failed AEW fans crying nonstop and furious. Tony Khan. If Sir Vince McMahon said this, it would be the least of his alleged misdeeds. Oh, that's not even the worst shot he took at him. Let me find that real quick. The difference is that Vince has the power and influence to take them cheap shots. He's earned the right to make them. Tony Khan said the following. Yes, Vince McMahon has allegedly used his power and influence to shoot a lot of his shots. Yo, Tony, damn. Minor stuff like that, that's not a big deal. Let him take his shots at Vince. I'm not gonna be mad at him taking a shot at Vince McMahon. I take shots at Vince all the goddamn time. It's his responses after he lost. That's where it kind of gets a little sad. Because not even 24 hours afterwards, we see Tony Khan tweet the following. And let me find this really quickly too. This is the main one that people were just like, what the hell, Tony? He says, this week, 2 active decade-long rating streaks from 2 great legends were ended. With all due respect, until this week's head-to-head AEW on TBS versus WWE on USA, neither John Cena nor Undertaker had ever been on a WWE show with under 1 million total viewers, plus under 400K in the demo. I mean, the same could be said about Adam Copeland. I don't think Adam Copeland was ever on the show with 600K and less than that. You get what I mean? And to me, is that a victory that you're proud of? Is that really a victory you want to hang your hat on, saying that you stopped WWE from reaching 1 million viewers? How do you know it was you? Both of you were on at the same time as the MLB playoffs. You think you're the only reason that they didn't reach 1 million? If nothing else was going on, I can guarantee you NXT would have at least hit a 1.0. And I think AEW would have at least gone up to the 800s. It doesn't matter. I just think with the star power that NXT had, there was no way AEW was going to beat them. There was no way. I guess you take the small victories, right? But is this really a victory you want to hang your hat on? I'm sorry. If you are a competing company, the only thing you should settle for, and nothing less, is beating them in the ratings, taking their market share, selling out arenas, and having the better show overall, period. That is the only thing you should settle for. Don't settle for these. What is this? This is not even a victory. This just feels like him trying to say, I gotta get something out of it, right? That was one of those first tweets where I just kind of look at Tony and go, bro, like, are you really cut out for this? You know what I mean? Like, you want to look at him on the same level as Vince McMahon because he's a billionaire and he's someone that is leading literally the second biggest promotion in the world. So you want to compare him to Vince, but then you start to realize, like, this man is doing things that you should not be doing. And then watch this tweet right here. We were watching NXT, big dog. Then I wasn't talking to you. And you don't follow me, so I reply. It's like, what are you doing? Like, what? And then we had the tweets from today. Let me start out by saying this. When you're a billionaire, life comes to you a lot easier. I can 1000% understand him getting his way all the goddamn time. And then all of a sudden you have your moments where you don't get your way. I can see that bothering him. Right? You're so used to life happening for you. Whatever you want, you get. And then all of a sudden, you don't have your way. You don't get your way. You don't know how to handle that. This is a man that probably has gotten his way since he was a kid. His dad, Shad Khan, my goodness, one of the richest men in the world. But regardless of all that, he says, this weekend marks 1 year since Mayo Clinic saved my mom's life. By the way, I'm glad his mom is doing well. Just want to put that out there. But we continue. During her ordeal, many AEW talent came to me alleging WWE tampering, inducing them to breaking their contracts. I will never forget those phone calls at her side in the hospital. It's when business became personal for me. And you got people on Twitter saying, well, he's just talking about his mom. No, he's not. Yes, his mom just so happened to be a part of the tweet, but his focus is WWE tampering with contracts. Not that I should be surprised, but the same WWE avatar accounts that spam me every day, no matter what I say or what it's about, now turning their wrath to mom recovering from a near-death experience, is why I straight hate these people to the bottom of my heart with all of my soul. He's letting it get to him, man. He's letting it get to him. Let me be sure he didn't tweet anything else. Okay. Look, I'm going to tell you this right now. I wouldn't be surprised if he tweets more. But he's already tweeted enough. He's already tweeted enough. If I am an AEW employee or a wrestler, I'm going to Tony immediately. And I'm saying, give me your phone. Give me your phone. You can't be on Twitter right now. Not right now. Give me your phone. Suspend me. Fire me. Give me your phone. Right now, you're not in the right mindset. You've taken this loss a lot harder than you really need to. He has. He has. This is a massive loss for him and his ego. But that's essentially what it is. The Tuesday Night War was an ego war. It was an ego war for WWE and Tony Khan. Because WWE needed to prove to themselves, when they put the machine behind the show, they needed to know if they could truly beat AEW. And guess what? They won tonight. So you already know, when Collision goes up against SmackDown later on this year, they're going to do the same thing. And Tony's going to react the exact same way. Because they know they can make him act this way. This tirade that Tony Khan has gone on and is still going on probably is what WWE wants. They want this guy to melt down, to lose his shit, to make it about him, to take something that really wasn't all that big of a deal and make it bigger than what it is. People got mad at CM Punk for doing something like this. for taking the focus away from the show. And Tony Khan has done exactly that. He has taken the focus away from the show and made it very personal. And I gotta think, there's someone back there that can get to Tony Khan and tell him, Tony, it was just one loss. It's just one loss. You have beaten NXT multiple times. And the one time you lose to them, this is how you act? Come on, Tony. Okay, we get it. They had to load their shows up with big names to beat you. But you know what, Tony? You would have done the exact same thing. If he could bring in all these big names, he would have done the same thing. So is that really cheating? No, it's not. Those are all contracted people. And the fact that they even book their shows with those people lets you know that they see you as competition. And WWE don't play around when it comes to competition. Just ask Eric Bischoff. But you know what you do? When you take an L, you do what the greats do. You do what Michael Jordan does. And I bring up Michael Jordan because I think he's the greatest of all time in basketball. Sue me. Sorry, LeBron. Michael Jordan is no stranger to losses. Everyone says he's one of the greatest of all time. I think he's the greatest. Do you know that before he became a basketball player, before he was the NBA great, they wouldn't let him play on his high school team. They kicked him off the high school team. He used to be terrible at basketball, but you know what he did? Every day he wakes up in the morning, 4 a.m., and he shoots 1,000 shots. Before practice, he takes literally hours to shoot 1,000 shots, whether he makes them or he misses them. 1,000 shots every day. Then he goes to practice. And that's his routine every day. Every day. And even despite all that, it is a team sport. So guess what that means? Michael Jordan can go out there and score 40, 50 points and his team will still lose. And Michael Jordan has had to do that. He's had to go out there, score 50, 40 points and still lose. He went to work the very next day. He woke up, shot 1,000 shots, practiced, and played again. Imagine if Michael Jordan crumbled. Crumbled after one loss. After he got to the playoffs in the 80s and he lost the first time. No. He came back the next year and the next year and the next year and he kept going. That is what makes champions. Your losses make you better. And I wish someone would just tell Tony Khan, take your L, get to work, go back to the drawing board, look at your show, look at Dynamite. What's missing? What can we improve? What do we need to improve? Who needs more TV time? Who's not getting TV time? What do fans want to see? Do we need more storylines? Do we need more women on the show? What needs to improve? What can we do next time to do a better job against WWE when these guys decide to invade us on Wednesdays, or we get bumped off of our show to fight them on Tuesdays, or we get bumped off for Saturday to fight them on Fridays? What do we need to do to improve? That's my question. That's his mindset. That should be his mindset. That's the mindset of a champion. This reaction, I'm going to say, is the mindset of a secondary promotion. You got all these people like Eric Bischoff, Jim Cornette, many others saying that Tony Khan isn't on the level of Vince McMahon. This proves them right. This proves them right. This is a loser mindset. This is a defeatist mindset. Okay, you know what? I'll give it to you, Vince. I'll give it to you, Triple H. I'll give it to you, Shawn Michaels. You whip my ass. Badly. That won't happen again next time. Oh, next time when I come up against you, I'm going to mark the date. When are we going up against WWE again? Okay, let me make some calls. New Japan Pro Wrestling. CMLL. Mercedes Moné. What you doing, Mercedes? Hell, you know what? Phil, let me talk to you. Nah, he's not going to call CM Punk. He probably should. No, he's not calling CM Punk. But for real, like, Keith Lee, man, what you up to? All right, guess what? You're on Wednesday now, or you're on Friday. Okay, we're going up against SmackDown on Friday. Kenny, Young Bucks, what y'all doing? Too bad, cancel it. You're on Friday. Come on, man. This is competition. Every show going forward because of this loss should be banger. You're going to be here in Houston this upcoming Wednesday. I got my ticket. By the time you watch this, if you're watching this after the fact, you'll know if he improved or not, but I'm hoping he brings his A game. Every show going forward because of this loss should be banger. After banger. After banger. Take your L. But let it motivate you. Take your L. Keep going. Enough of this defeatist mindset. You lost. It sucks. I know. But the champions take that loss and they improve. You don't crumble. And I hope Tony Khan realizes that. Melting down on Twitter isn't going to win you any sympathy. It's just going to make people look at you like you're a secondary promotion. Like you don't know what you're doing. So put the phone down, Tony, and get back to work. Get back to work. That's it. Get back to work. Shoot your 1,000 shots. Go to practice and play the next game. This is a company that was told they wouldn't last a year. Not only did you last a year, you've been around for 4 years. You sold out arenas. You sold out stadiums. You basically almost sold out Wembley Stadium. 81,000 in attendance. Tony, you're going to let this one night make you crumble like this? Get your act together, man. Just go to work and produce a better show. That's all. And if you are struggling to do that, hire some people. Hire the people who can. No excuse. You're a billionaire. You have all the resources and the tools to produce a show on the level of WWE. I'm not trying to hear it. Get to work. That's the mindset of a champion. Get to work. You're gonna eat more L's. Like real talk, he is going to eat more L's in the future. Get used to it. Get used to it. Get to work. Get to work. Thank you for watching. Give me your thoughts down below how you feel about all this. I'm very curious to know how you guys feel about these Twitter tirades. But I think he'll be okay. He'll get it out of his system eventually. Might take him a couple more days, but I hope by the next episode of Dynamite or the next time they go up against WWE, they'll do better. They have to. Because I doubt he wants to get stomped like this again. Based off of how he's acting, he doesn't want to get stomped like this again. But that's just my thoughts. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys are having a great day. And as always, if this is the first time you're watching me, do me a solid favor. Like the video, subscribe, and click the bell to catch all my content when it comes out. Follow me on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. And donate using PayPal, Patreon, Cashapp, and Venmo. I love you guys. Please take it easy. This is Alyx, just Alyx, signing out right here in Alyx's world. The place that is, was, and forever will be a safe space for wrestling fans like you. I'm out. Peace. When you're when you're